For years, I had this voice in my head that second-guessed everything I did. It was like having the world's worst GPS, one whose only mission was to reroute me away from anything uncertain and back to the safety of my comfort zone. It whispered, "You're not good enough. You're not good enough. You'll fail. It's smarter to just stay small." And I believed it. I didn't speak up. I didn't start. I didn't try. I stayed still, and that stillness became its own kind of prison. For the longest time, my biggest dream was this. Exactly what I'm doing right now. Sitting here, talking to you. I had notebooks filled with ideas. Scripts, concepts, a vision for something that mattered. But for years, that's all they were, private dreams. I never started. I told myself I wasn't ready. I needed better gear, a better voice, a better version of me. But the real reason? I was afraid. Afraid of not being perfect. Afraid of what people would think. Afraid they'd see right through me. My inner critic wasn't quiet. It asked, "Who are you to give advice? What if no one cares? What if they laugh?" And so, I waited. I edited myself before I'd even begun. My biggest dream for years was this. Sitting here, speaking my truth. I had notebooks full of ideas, scripts, visions, things I believed could help someone. But none of it ever left the page. I kept telling myself I wasn't ready. That I needed a better setup, a better delivery, a better version of myself. But that was just the surface. Underneath it was fear. Not fear of failing, fear of being seen failing. Perfectionism was the mask I wore to look brave, while hiding the part of me that didn't feel good enough. It told me, don't start until it's flawless. Don't speak unless you're certain. Don't move unless you're confident. And so I stayed still. Perfectionism isn't high standards. It's fear with polish, and when you obey it, you create nothing. No action means no proof. And without proof, that voice gets louder. It points to your silence and says, "See? You're not ready." And I believed it, for far too long. The turning point didn't come from inspiration. It didn't come from a breakthrough or a spark of motivation. It came from something quieter. Frustration. I realized that waiting wasn't working. I had spent years hoping confidence would show up on its own, as if one day, I'd just feel ready. But fear doesn't vanish. It adapts. It finds new disguises. And I saw clearly. The voice in my head wasn't the voice of reason. It was the voice of protection. It didn't want me to fail. But it also didn't want me to grow. That's when I created a rule. A principle. Mandatory imperfect action. It means, you act first, before you feel ready. You show up before the fear disappears. You move, even if your hands shake. Most people think confidence leads to action. But the truth is, action creates confidence. Every time you move, you generate evidence. And every piece of evidence rewrites the story. Confidence isn't something you wait for. It's something you build. My first imperfect action? A 2-minute video on my phone. Bad lighting, awkward delivery, a shaky voice, and fear. So much fear. Everything in me wanted to delete it. But I didn't. I uploaded it as unlisted. I sent it to 3 people I trust. And I waited for the sky to fall. But nothing happened. No disaster. No judgment. Just a shift. That moment didn't fix everything. But it cracked the story. It gave me one piece of evidence that the fear had been wrong. One imperfect action became the first domino. The next week, I filmed again. Still imperfect. Still afraid. But slightly less afraid. That second video became the second piece of evidence. This is how confidence is built. Not in theory, in practice. I started keeping a wins journal. Just one small thing I did each day. And that journal became a wall of proof. So when the inner critic showed up again, I didn't argue with it. I showed it the evidence. And slowly, I started to believe me, instead of it. The journey from self-doubt to confidence wasn't about eliminating fear. It was about changing my relationship with fear. I stopped treating it like a stop sign, and started treating it like a compass. Fear isn't proof that you're weak. It's proof that you're stepping towards something meaningful. Confidence didn't arrive first. It came later, brick by brick, action by action, moment by messy moment. And now it's your turn. Your critic will speak. Your fear will whisper. That's okay. Just don't wait for silence. Take one small, imperfect action. Make it mandatory. Make it messy. Just make it real. If this spoke to you, and you're ready to build your own wall of evidence, then subscribe. Join the membership, and share this with someone who needs it, because you might just change a life. One person at a time. One decision at a time. Every day is a bonus. Charles Odia.